through all the way through play club and high school soccer as well. Currently, I'm out here at the field at one of our local rec centers, just putting in some work, kind of going through a quick session, real quick, kind of something that our kids go through here. But I'm not here trying to just promote my academy man right now. Right now, I kind of want to talk about the World Cup qualifying game last night between Trinidad and Tobago versus the United States that ended 2-1 to Trinidad and Tobago. Not the greatest result ever. I was a little upset about that, just because of the simple fact that we lost. First of all, we're not going to the World Cup, but I think this definitely runs a lot deeper than that. And this is kind of more of a video, kind of to U.S. Soccer Federation to kind of see what's going on. I know there's definitely going to be a big inquest. A lot of people are pointing fingers at who's been blamed with this. I looked on Twitter earlier. There's a lot of people out there saying that, Jurgen Klinsmann is to blame, Bruce Arena is to blame, U.S. Soccer Federation is to blame. A lot of people point fingers, and rightfully so. That was definitely an embarrassment. I know the qualifying campaign hasn't gone exactly how we wanted it to, but we definitely had the talent that should have went over there and had no problem beating Trinidad. I know a lot of people have said that a lot of other countries, Mexico, have gone down there and been tough, but personally, my experience, I played the game both in high school and in college, and not at a high level in college, but still at the college level. And the old saying goes, it doesn't matter where you're playing at. If you need a result, you need to find a way to get the result. Point blank, period, simple. And that result out there just was not good enough. Point blank, period. We should have had the players out there who should have been good enough. Josie Altidore has been playing with this national team since he was 19, 20 years old. So, and I like Josie, man. Josie's a great player. But I think in the big games, he tends to kind of disappear a lot of the times. Right when we really, really need him, he kind of doesn't show up quite frequently, and it's a little frustrating with that. He's very inconsistent in the big games. I know we had Dempsey on the field as well. Dempsey's kind of getting up there in age. We can't always rely on Dempsey to bail us out when we need to be bailed out. Dempsey's a great player, definitely American legend. But like I said, man, he's just getting up there with age. Michael Bradley didn't really do anything to influence the midfield, and I'm a big Michael Bradley fan. I've been a fan of his for many years, but right now he's just not cutting it. Tim Howard, I think it's time for Tim to go. Honestly, the 37 years old, you can obviously tell that he's losing that little bit of athleticism that he had 3 years ago. I think it's just time to get another goalkeeper chance. Brad Guzan, I know right now he's not that much better, but with just him being a lot younger than Tim, I think it's time for Guzan to be the number one goalkeeper right now, or there's another number one out there. Definitely go out there and look that out. I know the camera's moving a lot, guys. I'm walking. I have this little issue where I don't like standing still, so you're gonna see that a lot. But back to the video right now. I know Pulisic. He's right now the great American hope right now, but the guy is only 19, full of talent, but he'll get better. I think he was the only player that I saw last night who was really, hustling and going out there. I think his surrounding players kind of just let him down. Bobby Wood had a great game against Panama. Kind of was just, I don't know what happened to him in Trinidad. He was very much absent as well, along with Josie. Omar Gonzalez, tough for that own goal. I'm not gonna, bash him too much on that, but I mean, just Omar Gonzalez isn't somebody who I would say needs to be in the starting lineup, let alone in the team anymore. Every time I watch him, he really doesn't offer the team really anything. So I think his time with the national team is pretty much over. Matt Beasler, good MLS defender. I don't think Beasler's the same player he was 3 years ago either. Might be time for him to kind of reconsider his future with the U.S. men's national team and see if he can find some younger defenders who can take his place. Killian Costa didn't have that bad of a game. DeAndre Yedlin didn't have that much of a bad game either. I think he finally just realized that Trinidad and Tobago team kind of could keep up with them for pace-wise. They had a lot of fast players in that team. Who else? I think it's pretty much Darlington Nagbe. Didn't really have the influence that he normally does. I like Nagbe as well. I think he brings a lot of creativity to the team. Benny Feilhaber, he's pretty much inconsistent. He's been in and out of the team for the past decade now, so can't really say much on Benny Feilhaber other than maybe it's his time to leave the national team as well. So, with that being said, for kind of analyzing the players and how the game went, just lacking urgency throughout the whole game, and that's all I saw. Nobody was really hungry, desire. You have a World Cup spot on the line. I wanted to see a lot more energy, kind of like how we did against Panama in Orlando. We just didn't have it against Trinidad. And realistically, the United States, to put it in perspective, they had to beat the 75th and like the 81st. I can't remember what ranking Trinidad was, but I know Panama was ranked 75th in the world rankings. All you had to do was beat them. Point blank serious. You just had to beat the teams in front of you, and we couldn't get it done. So where does this lie? I know a lot of people are blaming Jurgen Klinsmann for it. I don't think Klinsmann did that bad of a job in the beginning of his tenure. I like the way that we were playing, bringing in some players as well, Jermaine Jones, Jonathan Brooks, Fabian Johnson, players like that into the team. I think Klinsmann did make some mistakes in his time here, especially tactically how we set up. I thought he must have thought we were Germany in sometimes, because I'm just like, we're not that great technically on the ball. So why would you set us up in formations where more technical players can thrive in, but not so much so for us, the United States team? But that's neither here nor there. A lot of people blame Bruce Arena. Bruce Arena has only been in the national team for like 4 games. Not really a lot he could do. He just had to take the team that was here and kind of set him up the best way he could to see if they can get the results. Definitely didn't happen. I don't see Bruce coming back for the United States national team anymore. I think this was his last hurrah. Honestly, I think he was just a panic appointment after they found Jurgen Klinsmann. They really didn't have an idea of who they wanted to reply next. And yeah, that's pretty much it, how I see about Bruce Arena. Now on to the U.S. Federation. Me personally, that's where I think the issues really much lie, is the U.S. Federation. They sell the fact that the United States is very profitable. We have about $100 million plus surplus in the academy. We're making a lot of money off U.S. soccer. We have a pretty thriving league here in Major League Soccer that's definitely making the region very strong, which is a good thing. It's making more competition, but it's not helping the United States men's national team, which should be the #1 priority for the United States Federation, is making sure that we are making the U.S. men's national team a lot better. And right now, that's not happening. We've missed 2 Olympic cycles already. I know we're in the U17 World Cup. I know we won our first game. But so we'll see how far that team can go to. And yeah, that's just kind of how I see the U.S. Federation isn't really doing a good job. Now I know that I'm, like I said, I have my own soccer academy, and I do charge my clients to work with me as well, just because this is a business, and I have to at the end of the day, I have to make a profit as well to keep the business alive and running. But I think that is a problem in the United in our country, especially, whereas when you look around, there's not many soccer pitches to play. You can see regular fields out there when you go to rec parks or wherever you live at. Most of those fields are baseball fields, basketball courts, and just fields in general. Where most kids come here and they just play football. But there's really nothing specific towards soccer, and I think that's a huge issue that. Right now in our youth youth programs, we have pay to play pretty much. And if you think about it, most people who play soccer at an elite level spend anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a year to sign their kids up for academy soccer and elite soccer as well. Not many people have that kind of money, to spend, and for me, kind of personally, somebody who's loved the game, who's been playing the game since I was 5 years old, that's a huge issue, because I definitely want to see more kids coming out here playing the game, just getting some kids together and just playing. So I think that's definitely an issue, that we have to find a way to make fields more accessible for everyone. Suburban kids, lower income kids, inner city kids. We have to figure out a way to make that happen. I would love to have a proposal out there where U.S. Soccer Federation can fund academies like mine in order to help more students come into the academy, so where they can learn the game, where they can play little to nothing to come and join the academy, and that way they can learn. We're able to train more players and get more people to come through the academy. That's definitely my goal. Why I started Soccer Start was to have an opportunity to train kids of any economic background, as well as any ethnic background as well, who want to learn the game of soccer. I want to be there for them and teach them that. Another thing that I think U.S. Soccer, the Federation, is not really doing is we're not really educating our coaches enough. When I look at the MLS, there's not really a lot of American coaches coming through right now that you can say he's the next guy to become the men's national team coach. It just isn't happening. I think that is a big deal. I know right now coaching for the United States national team, I don't think where you come from is certainly a thing that should be a criteria of it. If somebody from Germany can come in and help the team progress forward, then by all means I'm with it. But we definitely need to get somebody that has some new ideas that can not only help the men's national team but also help our youth academies and our youth programs here overseas. Because right now we are way behind to the rest of the world. I used to live overseas. I used to live in Japan, and I remember when the World Cup came to Japan, and it was a huge success. I mean, everybody from anybody was there. It was a lot of fun. But immediately after that, Japan really started pushing their own domestic leagues, and not only that, but they started pushing more youths to play the game. Part of that, a lot of the youths in Japan play baseball. That's still the case now. Baseball is hugely popular over there, but soccer has seen a meteoric rise since the World Cup came there, and it's shown with the caliber of Japanese players playing the game. Japan is producing a lot of good young players, and as it should. The World Cup has done that for a lot of countries that have struggled in the past. It helped us back in '94 create MLS and get more players playing the game year round instead of just going to college and then after that you're done playing soccer. I think there has to be a look at of what suits better for us, because I think we're so big on making sure that we can play like the rest of the world. Right now, everybody's trying to be like Spain, where you're so superior technically that everybody wants to keep the ball. Whereas I personally believe that you need to, your style of play needs to suit the players that you have. Not everyone is Spain. Spain had to do that way because they have smaller players, especially in their midfield. Their midfield, they have smaller players, so they can't play a more physical style of play. They can't, outcompete England in their midfield when England have big players like that. They're not gonna blow past them. Like Xavi's not just gonna blow past them. Xavi can, keep the ball and outpass them because he has the technical ability and he has the intelligence to do that. So, United States, you kind of have a look at, you say, okay, we have some pretty good athletes. We're pretty quick. Why can't we have some type of counter-attacking style that keeps us strong defensively, but going forward we can be devastating as well? I don't know what formations or how you accommodate that, but that's something that, my own personal opinion, that's kind of what I would look at. But like I said, we got to find a style that fits specifically to the U.S. men's national team. Yeah, I don't know. But that's kind of something that I want to see that the Federation can do, is definitely sit down with everyone from Major League Soccer and the NCAA NCAA for all divisions of soccer. Sit down with different youth academies across the country and sit down and come up with a plan and say, hey, this is going to be our 10, 15-year plan that we're going to implement. This is what we're going to do. This is how you can help. And here's it laid out. And in 15 years, this is where we expect the men's national team to be, whether that's winning a World Cup, beating teams like Brazil and Argentina on a consistent basis. Whatever the end goal is, I think everybody needs to come down and sit down and figure out what's the best for U.S. soccer. Because, like I said, as a U.S. soccer fan, I want to see the United States qualify for multiple World Cups, and not only just qualify for them, compete in them. Actually do something when you actually get out of the group stage. I will forever remember the 2002 World Cup. And like I said, I was at that World Cup. I remember, we were a kick away from beating Germany and going on to a semifinal. It definitely hurt, when that didn't happen. But those guys were forever my heroes. I remember, Eddie Pope, Brad Friedel, Casey Keller, Clint Mathis, young Landon Donovan, DeMarcus Beasley, Claudio Arena. These guys making some big strides forward on helping U.S. soccer and, showing that, hey, man, we can do something, in the world of soccer. It definitely got people like my generation, hope to continue playing the game. I was 11 years old when that World Cup was around, so it definitely pushed me on to want to do something in the game of soccer, especially in the United States with it growing. But